Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Wednesday and welcome back to the Havamal. This week we are looking at verse 38 and we begin, as we always do, with 3 different translations. The first translation reads, "Let a man never stir on his road a step without his weapons of war, for unsure is the knowing when need shall arise of a spear on the way without." That's by Olive Bray. Next translation. "A wayfarer should not walk unarmed, but have his weapons on to hand. He knows not when he may need a spear or what menace may meet on the road." That's by W.H. Auden and P.B. Taylor. And then from the Cowboy Havamal, because I keep referencing this because it makes the point of these verses so plain and so beautifully. But it reads, "Keep your guns close. I don't care what they say. There ain't no telling when there'll be call for them. An armed man has a shot." That's by Dr. Jackson Crawford. So, life is an uncertain business and danger can strike at any moment. It doesn't matter if we're prepared or not. It can happen. It doesn't matter if we believe in the use of physical force for self-defense or not. Danger can still happen. Life does not care about misguided political ideologies that make people weak. In order to continue, life has to be defended, and the living must be prepared to mount that defense. I stress this specifically because we are immersed in self-destructive doctrines spouted by politicians and people who have no sense of reality, and they don't want people to be able to protect themselves. This is madness, and everyone of all faiths, everyone who loves life, faith or no, has a duty to reject such ideologies. Pagans perhaps most of all have an obligation to reject these notions and to learn how to defend themselves and their loved ones with whatever tools are at their disposal. We dishonor the gods and the gift of life and with all of its wonders that they've bestowed upon us if we do not embrace this duty. So yes, we ought to be able to bear arms, and we should be prepared to use them if the occasion calls for it. The gods did not hesitate to take action when required, nor should we. The person who is prepared for an emergency is better situated to survive that emergency. The idea of being properly prepared for anything is not currently in fashion, and that makes people horribly vulnerable and a pox on everyone who encourages that kind of short-sighted thinking. I think it's vastly better to go with pagan philosophy because it encourages people to look ahead to the future, to realize that bad things can and will happen. The solution is not to pretend that it won't occur, but to take steps to be ready to meet these challenges. Human beings are the least helpless creatures on earth. The only thing that can really tear us down are bad ideas inside of our own minds. If we believe we're helpless and can't cope, our actions reflect that. If we believe we are capable and have a will to survive, then our actions reflect that. Our perceptions of ourselves can become our reality. Our perceptions reflect our choices, and that builds our fate, brick by brick. The counsel in this verse is telling us to not allow ourselves to build a fate of victimhood and being constantly put upon or becoming an object of pity. It's dishonorable and it's an unacceptable way to exist. Verse 38 has practical and spiritual implications for us to consider. In order to benefit from the advice, we must be willing to consider the manner in which we've been living our lives, and if our actions demonstrate that we do value that life, and if we are willing to defend it, if needs be. So that's where I'm going to leave this verse. Now's the time for you to tell me what you think, either in the comments below, or you could go up to the description box, click the link to our Gilded server. It's called Blackbird's Brew, and I'd be happy to continue the conversation with you there. But that'll do it for this one, and I will see you next time. Bye.